Like to talk much. We have loads of comedians in the building, so I would like to introduce our first performer or comedian for tonight, and she goes by the name, or he goes by the name, bear with me, he goes by the name Achille. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Achille.
Feel as good as you look. That makes me very happy to hear. I'm glad that you're doing better than me. I got crowd worked by a white guy at an open mic, and he decided to call me entry-level black. Touched a bit of a nerve. Check the LinkedIn ho, I'm not entry-level nothing. But you know, I'm an artist, I'm an actor, I went to acting school, I know how to use it. So, I stood on my 2 feet, squared my shoulders, took a deep breath, and I fucking bombed. I did not let that white man make me insecure about my blackness. That is what the black people at my job are for. I work at a black-ass elementary school down in Bed-Stuy, so the Overton window does shift a little bit. I am the whitest person at my job by the color of my skin and the content of my character. Here is an example. I come in, and I say good afternoon, good morning to my elders, you know, to Mr. Jesse and them. I dap up my kids, and then I get in the cafeteria, and every noise in the world is happening at the same time. For example, a lot of the kindergartners come to me and they go like, Mr. Achille, can you open that bill, please? And then there is the Bayesian data specialist, who I have a deep, abiding respect for, but he does sound like gay Squidward. And then he'll go up to the kindergartners and he'll be like, do you not hear adult talking to you? Do you not hear adult talking to you? Sit down. And I'm like, ugh. And then I hear my trainee supervisor, who is really cool, but she don't really be giving a fuck, calling a shelter in place over the walkie. She'd be like, alert, alert, alert. Shelter, shelter, shelter. Alert, alert, alert. And this overstimulates me and stresses me out, and that brings out my whiteness. So then I run to my supervisor and I'm like, is there a reason we're not following the designated schedule? I'm not trying to fight, I just want to know. So, this is a really cool time to be transgender. Please woo more. We need the good press, thank you. It's a really cool time to be transgender and to work with kids. I feel like the goat in Wicked. Are you Glinda, you Elphaba? Are you Glinda, you Elphaba? I'm Dr. Dillamond. I know why the caged goat sings. I'm a theater teacher. I know why the caged goat teaches devised theater to 10-year-olds. Those who can't do bleat. I'm glad that worked. But yeah, so I've been transgender at my job, and it's a scary time, so I do a little something called going stealth, which, if you're not familiar with the term, it's when I show up, I say, hey, my name is Mr. Achille, I've got my sideburns, my deep voice, my pronouns are he, him, unless you're introducing me. It's all love, no worries, my Ghanaian man, my Ghanaian friend. I say my name is Mr. Achille, and nobody has questions for real. Except the kids do have questions for real. Their questions are namely, why are you built like that? Why are you wearing girl pants? Why do you look like Jeffrey Wright in the face and Jessica Rabbit in the butt? These third graders are really up on their Westworld. I'm not helping their confusion though, because my go-to classroom management strategy is just fagging it up a lot. For example, if you can hear my voice clap once, nobody claps. Oh, no, thank you for being responsive and for clapping. If you're my kids, pretend that you're not listening to me, you don't give a fuck. Cool. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. And then I just be like this, you know what? I just have to walk the runway a little bit, and then they're all listening. I've gotten so comfortable with being an effeminate gay man theater teacher at this job that some of the kids have started calling me Miss Achille. They don't know I'm transgender, so they're not being transphobic. They're being homophobic. Do you know what it's called when a group of children are so accepting of their transgender educator that their homophobia rounds back around to being transphobia? It's called progress. Oh, why, thank you so much. But yeah, at this point, I wish I cared more about being called Miss Achille by a bunch of kindergartners, but I've been every letter of LGBT at some point in my life, so at this point, I'm just throwing shit to the wall and seeing what sticks. I'm the kind of transgender that's like a stud with extra steps. I'm like if a stud was way more invested in being a man and way less invested in actually pulling any women for real. I'm technically bisexual, but in form and function, I'm really more of a gay man. It's nice to have access to like a seedier kind of hookup scene. It fulfills a lot of childhood stuff for me. Like, my type in girls was always, girls with long hair, girls who could sing high. My type in guys, do y'all remember the episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender where Aang was sleep deprived and he had hair and he was like hallucinating and he was punching a tree over and over and over again? That did it for me when I was 8. Also, do y'all know the movie A Christmas Story? Yes. Do we know the bully, Scott Farkas? Yes, if you're not familiar with The Christmas Story, there was this bully who wore like one of those hunter hats, and he would pop out and take the all-American boy and pin his arm behind his back and make him say uncle. He wouldn't have had to tell me twice. He would have been like, say Uncle Achille. Would have been like, I'll do you one better, Daddy. To be fair to women, I don't think that they are looking for me either. Back when I was a lesbian, I had like high top fade, Timbs that was heels, like big huge tits popping out my flannel. I kind of had it going on in 7th grade. I was shaping up to be a red bone little piece, and now I am a 5'4" light-skinned man with a fat ass. I started slim thick, and I transitioned into a theater teacher that the kids don't respect. I started slim thick, and I transitioned into a guy that you're matched with last in speed dating, and you're really holding out hope he's gonna be cool, and then he tells you he's polyamorous. I was pillow talking with a Grindr hookup a little bit ago, and he was like, Achille, if you had to go back and do it all again, would you choose to have been born a boy? One, crazy thing to say to me after sex. You're T-minus 10 minutes outside the boy pussy and you're already thinking about the boring ass factory settings? I thought I gave you a pretty unique experience. But I think my answer is no. Because if I had been born with a penis, then I wouldn't have been bottle-fed misogyny as a child. And if I hadn't experienced all this misogyny, I would have fallen down the Black Israelite pipeline. If you're not familiar with Black Israelites, just imagine that you white people are with your matcha latte on your way to Lockheed Martin or whatever, and I am dressed like Mansa Musa's personal wizard, and I'm standing under the Kajuko Bridge with a microphone. White man! I do not want land. I do not want reparations. I want you to kill yourself. They keep almost getting me. Their rhetoric keeps almost getting me because first they say stuff that's like, first they say things along the lines of like, oh, black people, we gotta stick together as a community. I'm like, I'm with you. Then they're like, white people are the devil. And I'm like, yeah, that aligns with my experience of the world. And then they're like, white people were invented by an evil scientist named Yakub in a lab 6,000 years ago. And I'm like, okay. My black girl critical thinking kicks in. And I'm like, 6,000 years ago, we had barely cracked the written word. I think we were still in hieroglyphics territory, if I'm not mistaken. If we hadn't even gotten the written word down yet, I don't see how we would have had the scientific advancement to make a whole group of people smell like nickels. My big problem with Hoteps, though, is that they beat up on marginalized people, like, they always have some shit to say about black women, about Jewish folks, about Asians, but my real thing is that they always beat up on black single moms. Black single moms do this, black single moms don't do that, black single moms are turning all of our boys into girls. It's horseshit, you know? I was raised by a black single mom. When is she gonna get her credit for turning girls into boys? My name is Achille Vann Ricca. Thank you so much.